Hello and welcome to my site. My name is Meredith and I'm here to talk to you today a little bit about the differences between males and females. Have you ever noticed that men think differently to women and women think differently to men? It's no accident, of course, because it's actually written into our biological inheritance. That is, the way that we're genderised. I first noticed it as a mother when I had a girl child, and I had all the initial experiences of motherhood with my girl baby, and then along came the bouncing boy that I had quite wanted very much. But I noticed straight away that there was a fundamental difference in the way that they related to me, the way they related to objects around them, and the way later on, in particular, I noticed when they were drawing, how differently they drew. My daughter was very personal, and my son would draw maps and bulldozers and roads and plans and spaceships that went out went up into the sky. It made me very curious, and as I progressed in my understanding and came to want to understand why things were so different, I explored gender differences between males and females, and I learned that biology creates it that way by hardwiring our brains differently. In fact, men think very differently to women. And what does that mean for you? And how does this sort of knowledge benefit you? Well, as a woman, if you are in a relationship with a man and you're actually all of the interrelationship energy that flows between you is actually about logical, sequential, linear problem solving, well then you're actually functioning on the male circuitry and the male energetics. Women, on the other hand, are actually biologically designed to function from a point of view of cooperation, sharing and caring, supporting and networking. And so the way that we operate is very, very different. What that means is that it flows into our relationships, it flows into our work relationships, our social networking. It also affects the way that we actually bring up our children. And it also affects the world that we're in. We're in a world that's actually based on the male paradigm, the way that on male values, and the world is actually crying out for some sort of solution to that, or rather, not a solution, but some sort of answer to that. What I'd like to suggest is that as we actually own and take on board our feminine intelligence and we bring it out into the world, we're going to be able to bring a softer approach to the world, and we're going to be able to execute those changes that are necessary for us to actually foster, conserve, support the planet, support the people who live on the planet without warmongering and territorial skirmishes that end in bloodshed. Now, that's not to say that I'm making any value judgments about males. I fully believe that males and females need to stand together. That's what it's all about. And so men can benefit from this book and from understanding the female psyche just as well as women can. As we understand women, who exactly we are and how the different phases in our life bring different awarenesses and values and ways of perceiving, then we actually become more into our power and we're able to facilitate our relationships. So I'd like to stay in touch with you. This is the type of information that I love and that I love to share with you. I'm very much involved in the body-mind paradigm, and so that what we think and feel is written into our bodies and vice versa. I have a newsletter, and I'd love to stay in touch with you via my newsletter. And I'd also invite you to look at my blog posts, because my blog posts carry a lot of updated information that's new and up to the minute, and I try to keep abreast of those sort of things and write on these topics. If you'd like to look a little bit further into my website, you can read about the book that I've written, which is called The Essence of Woman, and I really enjoy staying in contact with you. So take care, be well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.